Alright, I am back with another showing off my artwork video. If you remember, last month I didn't do one of these. I instead showed off the artwork I got from the Fort Worth Main Street Art Festival and hung a few of them up around my room. And so instead of doing that last time, instead of doing this last time, I did that. So now I'm back with showing off my artwork video number 4. Gonna keep this introduction short. Same as always, show a handful of my artwork, just give my thoughts and a little bit of backstory on each one, and just hopefully you like it. Alright, let's do this. Okay, before I describe this one, I gotta say, I've said before I took art class throughout middle school, high school, and college, but I also did some art in elementary school. But I thought I got rid of all of my art from elementary school days. Well, no, apparently I did save a couple, and this is one of the ones I managed to find. This was in our attic, a bit of a pack rat family. This one, basically the assignment was to take these broken tiles, and you'd have to, the teacher gave us like these many different pictures, and we had to basically take the colored tiles, place them on a board, and then we'd use special cement to hold them in place, and then it'd make the images. So like there was various items. Me and a partner, we got these 3 chili peppers, so we made chili peppers. I don't remember the name of my partner, like I said, this is elementary school, so over a dozen years ago. And it's been partially damaged over the years. Some of the tiles has fallen off, as you can see, but yeah, I think it looks kind of cool that way. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much into this one, because like I said, this is elementary school. I don't remember the entire backstory behind this one, and as you can tell, it's pretty dusty. I just, like I said, found this one recently in the attic when we were clearing some stuff out. But yeah, it's okay. Like I said, elementary school-wise, not too happy about this one. It could have been better, but at the same time, it could have been worse, so for what it is, it's okay. Okay, this one was from middle school, but I don't remember too much the context behind this one. From what I can remember, I think it was supposed to be taking up pieces of paper, shredding them up, and then we had to take a picture and make it into a picture of ourselves. And I know, even for me, this is like a really strange self-portrait, I guess you could say. I don't remember too much the context behind this one, like I said, but it's a picture of me. I tried using all sorts of different colors of paper, even if it was only for like little small stuff. And it's a picture of me holding what was at the time my pet rats. I had a pet rat for a couple of years. I named him Jester, like Court Jester. Not too much else I can say about this one either. Like I said, it was middle school, so my memories on this one are kind of in and out for a lot of these, but like I said, it was supposed to just be a self-portrait. It's torn up paper, nothing too fancy. And I think it's okay for what it is. Like I said, it's just okay. It's kind of funny, looking back on a lot of these, how, while I'm not too happy about look, it's like, yeah, I've improved since then. That's kind of like I guess the mixed bag looking back on art when you were a little kid. Is that some of them are kind of, like, really not that good, or at least not as good as you remembered. But at the same time, it's nice to see how much my art skills have improved since then, so, there's the silver lining, and hey, for the most part, I still like most of my artwork, so I'll take what I got, and take pride in what you do have, because, like I said, shows how your skills have developed over the years. Okay, when I was in high school, Assassin's Creed was kind of just recently came out. Now, I don't remember the exact details behind this one either. I think it was supposed to take some sort of famous image and parody it with some sort of movie or video game characters or TV show characters. So I took the famous Uncle Sam, I Want You for the U.S. Army poster, and I instead made it I Want You for the Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. So, obviously, this is supposed to be Ezio at the time, and but instead of him pointing out, he has the hidden blade that's inside of his glove just sticking outwards, though it should have made more sense for me to probably stick it this way or stick it up. I don't know why I kind of just did that. But I think it looks cool. The shading on his face is kind of okay, but overall, like you can tell, it's supposed to be him, and it does look pretty cool. And the proportions are actually pretty good for the most part. I will say I kind of wish I'd done a little bit more with the background than I did. Like, even just like some on the corners, just to make it stand out a little more, because otherwise it just cuts off his body, similar to Uncle Sam, but I think even the Uncle Sam one had something kind of in the background to make him stand out more. So that is the thing. It looks like he's just kind of flat. But the letters, for the most part, I think look pretty good. And I do like how I emphasize Brotherhood and you, so that's pretty good. And like I said, nothing too fancy. If you've played the games, you probably will get this. If you haven't played the games, you probably won't get this, because like I said, this is back when the Assassin's Creed games were starring Ezio. And while I don't really play the series anymore, it's kind of one of those things where a franchise goes on too long, I kind of stop being loyal to it. But for the most part, I did like all the Ezio games, so it's still, and I still play them from time to time. So yeah, I really like this one. For what it is, it works. Okay, this is an example of another high school one I both really love and really hate at the same time. So this one was, we were supposed to basically take, I think, 2 different types of art, or like art styles from different artists, and basically find a way to blend them together. So here I have, and this part I remember was supposed to be inspired by Jackson Pollock, and I don't really remember the name of this artist, but basically the idea is we have these 2 different men who obviously represent different art styles. So this guy, it's more sleek, simple, more white than color. This guy, it's all the buttload of color. But if you look here in the center, their hands kind of merge, they come together, and you see the blend of the artwork, because basically it's this rich guy who is trying to help out this poor guy who's down on his luck, and they're basically saying, hey, we may be different, but we're coming together because that's what we are. We are one and the same. Once again, it's another wood one, but this one only has 1 layer on top of the other. I don't even know why I did that if it was only 1 layer. Kind of confused on that. I don't remember the name, I don't remember too much of the context, but like I said, this is one I both really love and really hate, because the overall message is obvious. Well, for me it is with this one. But the reason why I hate it, I kind of wish I did more, I guess, different artworks, or at least different colors, because this guy is all white with some black lines, and then yellow, red, and a couple blue squares. This guy is all sorts of crazy colors, but they're mostly reds, yellows, and blues, and a little bit of white here and there, and then there's obviously this black border outline for both of them. So it really is kind of hard to really get the message, because look at the arm, it really doesn't really stand out too much from the background. And well, there are a couple little subtle details in here, like I said, the cracks in the floor are right here, like where the guy is. I mean, like I said, it works, but it could have worked better if I had done something, I don't know, maybe if I did greens or something to make this guy stand out more from this guy, because he doesn't have green on him. That, looking back, would make more sense. So, while I think at least my message is there, like coming together, and it creates something beautiful, we're one and the same, however you want to look at it, like, it works, but it would have worked better if I did a different type of color, or a different type of art-inspired character beyond just this. So, yeah, that does kind of, looking back, a bit of disappointment, but for the most part, I think it's okay. Okay, I actually remember this one a little bit better than some others. Right here, it says Art 3, 11th grade, Miss Pierce. So this was, once again, a junior year in high school artwork. What we did with this one was, well, a lot of times artists will do those portraits of fruits, like bowls of fruits. Well, instead of doing a bowl of fruit, we had at various tables just various objects. Like here's a thing of plastic pears, I think it's like an empty wine bottle, some giant pencil, and yes, this was a giant pencil, an old clock. So it's a box with like some sort of cover on it, and a few other little objects here on top. I don't remember all of them. And what we did with this one was, I'm going to get a little bit closer on here. What we did was we had to pick 1 or 2 objects from this pile and make them stand out. So I made the clock and chose to make it blue. It's like various shades and hues of blue. And the wine bottle I kind of just went over with like a white pencil and kind of like just smudged it a little to kind of help give the idea that it's glass. So that way they stand out from everything else. So you can still recognize everything else in great detail with all the shading. And like I said, the proportions for the most part are pretty accurate. But like I said, it's just to make 1 or 2 items from this one stand out. And every table had different stuff. Depending on where you were sitting at the table, you'd see different objects, because there's some stuff on the back side I didn't get. And like I said, I don't really know what's on the top because of the way I was sitting, so I bet someone else got something different than me. But yeah, I really do like this one. And it is one of the better ones when it comes to shading, in my opinion, because that's one thing I've always struggled with as an artist, is getting pretty good shading. Like, I've never really been able to do shading that well. So here, I think it's one of the few times where the shading, for the most part, works. The only thing I wish I had done, like I said in a previous one, is actually maybe draw the table, because it looks like this is just floating out of nowhere. But other than that, I think it works really great. So I really am happy with this one, so I'll take it. Well, I mean, I made it, so yeah, I'll take it and make it. Okay, this one is in 2 parts, and I gotta give a little context. So here's the picture itself. Now, it's once again an Art 3 Miss Pierce 11th grade artwork. Now, remember the sculpture I showed, I think back either my first or second showing off my artwork video, that had the swimmer, it was like made of aluminum foil, some wiring, and it was like painted black and gold? Well, that one, as I said, was to take someone in motion, like, and exaggerate the proportions. Well, here, I think was what we did right before that one. So, before I go into detail on this, I gotta explain this. Basically, we were supposed to look up a bunch of different pictures of people in various actions, like I have here. You have dancers, you have just acrobats, you have people swimming, you have people just jumping. I think you have a couple people doing yoga. And what I did was, and they were all supposed to be like just like one color, and some of the proportions are somewhat exaggerated, or details are somewhat changed a bit, or like some are more detailed than others, I should say. So then what you did was you're supposed to pick a handful at random, so I chose 5 of them, cut them out, and then put them on this smaller picture, and then kind of like just rearrange them. So tried to line them up, so the red with the red, the yellow with the yellow, the green with the green, and this one sadly didn't have any overlapping with any of the others, so I just kind of just stuck it right there so I could fill up the space. And this is actually one I really do like, even if you don't know the context behind it, which, to be fair, a lot of the context behind some of these I've forgotten. But I really think this is good. It is, like I said, practice for that sculpture, taking people in motion in like just like one still image, be able to show it off, but have it slightly exaggerated. So like some of the proportions for a few of these are a little bit off. Like I said, they're all just like one color, and some of them are more detailed than others. Like this one is shading. This one has like a lot of like little lines to show some action. This one's all solid one color except for the face. This one's just basically a shadow, and this one is kind of a combination of this one and that one. So yeah, I think it works pretty well for what it's supposed to be. Like I said, this was just a first step before we did a major sculpture, so I think it works. And even this on its own, I think it works pretty good, because without the context, it still once again looks pretty random and a bit kind of trashy, because I just cut a bunch of them out. But if I were to put these back in, which don't know how I could without ripping this one up, it was still like pretty cool, I think, as a standalone picture, just all these people in different actions combined, just like intertwining with each other. So yeah, I think it works for what it is, and really love this one for what it is. Okay, this is going to be the last one for this video. In here, it's a picture of my high school cafeteria. I took it, I think, near the end of the day when most people had gone home, but the janitors hadn't finished cleaning it up yet. And so basically what the assignment was to take an image somewhere in the high school. This one was what grade? Once again, 11th grade. Wow, I showed off a lot of 11th grades today. I didn't realize that. And basically just show something crazy happening in the high school. Now, I think I saw one image I remember of someone with a dragon in the hallway. So I decided to go with basically like what's beginning to be an earthquake and like happening in the school, and the hallway is ripping up. If I remember correctly, I had recently seen that movie 2012, the one about the end of the world, and I remember there was that one scene where there were earthquakes breaking up the city, so I thought, okay, I'll do something like that with the high school. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on this one, which means you're not going to see much of my face. I'll admit, it's not too great, because, I mean, it is for the most part pretty flat. I mean, the tables and chairs could have been better. I guess I'd put so much detail in trying to making the earthquake like look like it's moving, like it's really like ripping open the ground, that I kind of had to rush the tables and chairs, because some of the proportions are really off on some of the chairs, I'll admit. And I tried doing a little bit of shading for the first few, but you can tell by the back it's like, they're just basically 1 or 2 colors, just gray and black, that's it. But I mean, in terms of like perspective, I think it works. I mean, I at least made them get smaller a little bit as they went further back, though admittedly not by much. And it's funny, I think the tables were oval shaped, but I don't know, they look kind of weird even for me. I think it's because they're not all the same size, but at the very least, it looks like I said, the chairs are somewhat falling over, the tables have moved around a bit. I think one of them, or 1 or 2 of them are broken, so, and I will admit, having gray chairs. Now, they were gray in the school. I remember that kind of falling into that hole, but it's black and like gray. It does make it kind of hard for them to stand out, but you can at least see a couple of them falling in. Also, I kind of wish I'd shown more detail. Maybe, I don't know, having one or two people kind of reacting to this. But like I said, it was an empty cafeteria at the time, so I just kind of went with what I had. I don't really remember how long we had for this one, maybe 2 weeks, so I think I just kind of had to rush job this one. So it could be better, but for what it is, I really do like it. It's one of the ones that I really like. For what it is, it works. And yeah, like I said, it could have been better. Maybe this is one of the ones that, like I said, if I'd had another chance, I probably would remake it. I don't know if I ever will, though, but like I meant like in high school, I probably would have redone this one if I could. Maybe one of these days, if I ever want to remake some of these artworks, I will. But for what it is, I think this one's pretty good. And that's all I got for this month. It was good doing this again, since like I said at the beginning, I didn't do one last month, because I did the showing off my artwork from the Main Street Art Festival. But this was fun, and I'm going to keep doing these once a month. The only thing I'll do a little bit different here is just give a quick update on my life. I haven't been uploading as many videos recently, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, my sister just came back home because she lives halfway across the state to go to her college. And while I'm done with college, I wanted to spend the last few weeks of us kind of just hanging out now that she's back. Additionally, work's been pretty busy. I still work both my jobs, restaurant jobs for the time being, one during the week, one on weekends. So yeah, I'm constantly at working, but hey, I need it. Like I said, I graduated from college last year, so I'm just trying to save up the money. Hopefully, I'll be able to afford to move out of my parents' house because this is still my childhood bedroom. But other than that, the only other thing I'll say is I've had some car troubles recently, so I'm trying to have to afford that. We have insurance, but it's only going to cover so much. So yeah, so there are some things going on in my personal life right now that are keeping me from doing too much filming in the mornings, but I think for the most part things are back under control. So hopefully in the next few weeks I'll have a few more videos coming up. I also plan on doing another one of those blooper videos for a previous video I did. I just might wait off and do that one as like a filler video. That's kind of what all those 2011 stock show videos were. They're basically, I don't have time to do anything this week, so upload 2 or 3 of those. But I've run out, so. And like I said, all in all, my life's pretty good right now. Just a few hiccups recently, but hey, everything's back under control. So hopefully I'll have another couple of videos in the next few weeks. Actually, I have one I wanted to film maybe sometime Thursday or Friday. It'll be a short video, but it is something I want to talk about. That I feel is kind of important to talk about for me. And yeah, next month I'll have another showing off my artwork video. I think I've probably gone through this point about half or so. So that means I probably will have maybe a few more of these, maybe 4 or 5 at most. Or 3 or 4 at most, sorry. And yeah, that's really all I got left to say for this one. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you comment, hopefully I'll get back to you in the future on it. And have a good rest of your day. Take care.